All right, good evening, people. It's your boy Chig from Gloomy Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time is to talk about a few transfer rumors. Now, normally I do a transfer rumor show, but I'm going to do one. I'm going to drop it earlier on in the day. But much like I imagine a lot of you, I went to a barbecue yesterday, drank a lot yesterday, been nursing my head for most of the day, which is why if you see me on Twitter, my interactions have been very short, to say the least. I'm in no mood. Normally, I don't even block people. I like to let people just talk to the wall whenever I can see they're being a bit rude. Today, I've had no patience. I've just let people talk to the. I've literally let people I've just blocked them. I ain't been fucking around. I've just blocked them. So Bobby, who I know is a long time follower of mine on Twitter, I know how I feel, man. I'm just short-tempered today. People are just pissing me off. So, I think it's just because I'm hungover a little bit, that's all. But anyway, back to business. That's enough of my own personal moaning. So, as part of my little process of waking myself up today, so the other thing that didn't help was the fact that I watched a bit of UFC last night. So I stayed up until about 5, 6 in the morning, British time. God, didn't have a lot of sleep because of the heat. But then a story caught my attention because I get stories that pop up on my phone. It's like, oh, midfielder due for medical. So I just thought, oh, okay, it's Torreira. And then all of a sudden, this fucking name came up that I've never even seen us linked to him before. But then I had to remember a few things because I had seen the name before, but I knew it wasn't this summer. Matteo, I've got to really try and pronounce this. Matteo Guendouzi. I know somebody's going to tell me I pronounced that wrong. Matteo Guendouzi from Lorient. He's a 19-year-old central midfielder because we seem to be in love with those at the moment. 6'1", decent size, plays for Lorient. He's mainly just had a youth career up until now. So between 2005 and 2014, he played for the PSG youth team, and then he moved to Lorient approximately 4 years ago, playing a lot for their B team. This season, he's played over 20 times. He's yet to have a club career goal. However, for his national team, he's played under 18s. He's made a few appearances under 18s, under 19s, and under 20s for the France international team. And scored a couple of goals for them. Supposedly, someone that Sven highly rates. But this goes all the way back to the start of the year. Because I knew I'd seen the name before, but it'd been a while. And I looked back, and it was actually in January we were last linked with him. So I remember seeing the name and thinking, who the fuck is this? And it was us and Tottenham, and I believe a German team. I think it was Schalke or someone like that was chasing him at the time. And I remember thinking when I read the story, like, oh gosh, I hope we focus on one thing rather than the other. But his name has popped back up again. It seems to be interesting that we are being linked with so many central midfielders. And in the case of this guy, so much so that they think that we're going to have a medical with him tomorrow. Supposedly, we've had a €8 million bid accepted by Lorient, who I believe, please do correct me if I'm wrong, to someone who knows the French league better than I do. I believe they've been relegated now. So kind of people are just picking off their team now. And this is one of those players. And, supposedly he's really highly rated. People think he's gonna be about something. 19 years old. My only concern is, where the fuck are we going to fit all these people in? I mean, bear in mind, and this is one of the things I was probably had a bit of a loose conversation with Bobby about on Twitter. My point is, So we have El Nene, who we gave a contract to in what, May. We have Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who we gave a contract to last week. We have Xhaka, who we gave a new contract to 2-3 weeks ago. We have Ramsey, who we're trying to tie down and build the entire team around. We want to bring on Torreira. Supposedly, we've opened talks to Seville about Nzonzi. What? How? Now we've got this geezer. How exactly are we supposed to fit all these guys in? I think it's pretty safe to say if you're someone like Joe Willock, you're like, fuck, what the hell was this? I think it's safe to say Joe Willock is probably going on loan this season. To me, I don't mind it because I like it in a way because I like the fact that we're trying to solve what I believe for many a year has been a problem area for us, and that's that central midfield area. Not necessarily in terms of going forward, but definitely in terms of defensively, in terms of keeping a shape. It's been a huge area of concern. But man, anyone would think we don't have central midfielders already at the club that we've offered contracts to. Like, all of this would make sense if we were getting rid of Xhaka, we were getting rid of El Nene. And that was the thing that caused the debate online for me, because I believed that, for me, I think El Nene is probably off, particularly if we're getting Zonzi. Where exactly is he going to play? When is he going to play? And personally, I don't want to sacrifice Ainsley Maitland-Niles for fucking El Nene. I'd rather he goes. But I guess we have to just see, because who knows how long that El Nene extension was for. Maybe it was for another year, just to shore up his value. So that maybe someone like an Everton come in for him or someone like that. You could sell him for a decent amount of money. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, this one was a real surprise because I think everybody is expecting, and I guess this goes on to my next story. I've talked about it a couple of times already in the past few days, but I'll mention it again. So the belief is that Torreira is going to come on board, and Lucas Torreira, that is. There's a lot of debate about whether he was on a flight yesterday or if he's coming tonight or if he's coming tomorrow. Because a flying fuck, as long as he signs that contract. The belief is that he's ready, set to sign a 5-year deal, believed to be worth about £62,000 per week, which I can only imagine will probably go up as soon as he has a very, very good season. And yeah, happy days. I mean, of all the signings that we've been linked with so far, I've said this before and I'll say it again, this is the one that I'm most excited by. Just because I like the look of him. But I like, what I'm really liking is that we're identifying areas that we need to strengthen. I guess for me, I'm bracing myself a little bit for the fire sale because you know it's going to come. I'm wondering in what way it's going to happen. Who are we going to sell? I had this conversation with another friend of the show, Mems. Shout out to Mems if he's watching. And he picked really good people that I would have picked. So he picked like Ospina and gosh, I can't even remember his list, but he picked really good players or people that he picked that he would sell. And I believe that will be the case as well. But I honestly think there'll be a couple of surprises on there. People think, hold up, what? Brace yourselves, guys. I think that fire sale is coming. You think it has to happen at some point. Mustafi's definitely got to be high on this list. And there's another person that I think might be high on this list that's going to feature in my chopping block that I'll do later. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about today's story. It was the one story, him and Torreira are the two stories that seem to be running in most outlets at the moment, is that we're going to have a medical with both of these guys next week. The Nzonzi story is still going on, bubbling on in the background as well. One paper believes that we're going to have a medical with him next week. I'm not as certain about that, but let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Am I being too pessimistic? Do you think we need to offload someone, or do you think we can satisfy all parties, as a lot of you on Twitter seem to think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, crush, destroy, absolutely drop kick the shit out of that like button. I appreciate it every time you guys do that. I'm about to go and prepare to do a chopping block. So I know you guys love those. And I'll drop that in the next hour or so. So keep tuned. So the best way of doing that is hitting that notification bell. As some of you guys know already, and some of you don't, that chopping block will be featuring Alex Awobi. It's going to pay me to do this one, but I think it's necessary and it needs to be done. And to find out the reason why I'm putting him on my chopping block, tune in shortly. All right, people, I'm out of here. I'll see you in a bit. Take care. Deuces.